the heartbeat.
He's trying to attack. That's what you need to do against Magnus. Keep queens on and attack. And whoa, Magnus has taken the knight.
Whoa, whoa.
What? This is a check? Where's the king hiding?
Where is it hiding? It goes to d7, the b5 square we highlighted. The queen comes in. You go the other way, you take the bishop with a check. Wait, is this just lost?
There's absolute blood in the water. Can Fabi sniff it out? That's the question.
No, but this is just lost. It's check, 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 and you're busted.
If you go to the dark square, the bishop gets captured with a check. If you go to a light square, the white queen comes in. This check is...
What?
It looks so deadly.
No, but this doesn't make sense.
What has happened? This is self-destruction. This is...
Did he actually play that?
From Magnus Carlsen. He took a knight. We saw it on the camera with his hand.
Impossibility for that to be a board malfunction.
Oh my... What?
That is the wildest blunder we've seen. We've seen some blunders that depend on deep calculation. This is just a one mover.
I mean, you look like you're getting checkmated, or you have to lose your queen on the next move. And there we have it. The bishop on h4. And he plays it.
There it is. Rook c1 check. King quickly to d7. Now the queen needs to get involved.
The most normal, logical move in the position.
She's coming in onto the other diagonal with a check.
If white takes a timeout and captures this bishop, then black does have the time to control all the squares. The knight will come, cover the light squares, no more checks, no more attack. So Fabi will give this check.
Yeah, don't get greedy for the piece.
And we just highlighted those light square weaknesses right now. Fabi isn't rushing with the recapture. He, of course, sees the queen b5 move that you're highlighting right now. Magnus's king, not surviving this.
Is he going to march it into the center?
Oof.
Just sit, king of the hill, lead from the front. That normally never ends well. It's on a dark square as well. White has a dark squared bishop.
But maybe you're right, David, because I don't see a killer blow in that position once the king goes to the square that you're highlighting right now. Let's just put an arrow or mark it in red. Imagine Magnus with the king at the center.
Yeah, there's no killing blow, but I think then you can take the bishop on h4 because you've removed the square that the knight would want to jump to. So the queen check comes in, the king slides up. Now we're looking for that dark squared bishop to be snapped up by Fabiano Caruana.
And there is absolutely no way that Fabi repeats with checks in this position.
Could bail out with a draw here, Fabiano Caruana. He's slightly lower on the clock. So the professional thing, or the thing we often advise, repeat once, show your dominance, gain 20 seconds on the clock. Check, check, then take the bishop and smile at your opponent.
I suppose he has two checking options, right? c5 or b6. Both look about the same. King's going back to d7 either way.
Yeah. Either way, you want to leave black with the king on the dark square, though, to take it away from the knight. That is the key. So if you give one check, you should probably give the second and repeat. But more likely, Fabiano, after a bit of thought, will just take the bishop. And there we go.
There we go. He picks it up. Massive winning advantage here for Fabiano Caruana against Magnus Carlsen in the third round of their best of four, looking to take an edge in this World Championship bout.
For the first time, there's no gambit going on as well.
Magnus needs a miracle. He's trying to trade off rooks. There are no effective checks here other than this one with the white queen. Whether that helps or not, unclear. But look at the black pieces. He's playing without a queen. He's playing without a rook in the corner. The king is out in the open. This cannot mean survival.
And the king has no way back. The bishop controls the e7 runaway square. The queen controls the d7 square. All Fabi has to do is activate the lone remaining rook on the f line.
Yeah, you can bring that later on the G file. You can maybe move your king somewhere and just defend your other rook. In the near future, the black pieces are going to get skewered on this diagonal.
Oh, that's a painful look on Magnus's face.
He knows. He will be in a must-win situation in the final game. Fabiano is so close now. This is the best chance he's ever going to have to win a World Championship title.
Yes, completely agree. You were asking, does Fabi get another chance? I think this is his last one, and he has to absolutely cash on this. It's this or not.
If he doesn't win this game, oof.
1 foot through the door, through the threshold. Got to get the other one through and shut it.
And we're just...
2 minutes. Will his nerves stand up to the task?
He looks pretty calm on camera, though. It's not shaky, but he's got to be feeling, right? The win is here.
Yeah. I think we all sense it. Just so illogical that black can survive with the king out in the open like this. In no world, surely.
What feels obvious to you? Is it just getting that king out of the way, connecting the rooks,
No,
trading
the
on my
F-pawn.
terms?
I love the idea.
Like the F-pawn.
I love the idea that you mentioned. I want that bishop check.
I love the f-pawn too.
Okay.
The downside is maybe that after a rook capture, the white king is forced out the way, the black queen will be able to step away with a check and maybe offer a trade at some point. So that's why it's just, there we go, keeping it simple with the king stepping forward, as Tanya said, bringing the other rook into the battle. So effective, and Magnus can barely move.
Yeah. And you know what? You've always got that f-pawn move ahead. So this is just classed by Fabi. He's not giving any chances to Magnus to get back into the game.
I mean, you say he's almost got no moves, and I'm scanning each and every piece. It really feels like there's quite literally no moves to be made.
I just can't understand what the oversight was, what he missed, Magnus. Did he think he could get his knight to this square maybe and sit on the light square's blockade? You can see his face now. He realizes the damage has been done.
Yeah. What do you do? Slightly improve that rook up to c6, say, okay, I'll still offer the trade, but on my terms.
The other plan that I see to try to ease off the pressure could be get that queen out of the way and offer a trade on that A line. Try to connect your rooks. Just get some development going, but do you have enough time? The feeling is not.
You know, time is so important. One more move. If Fabiano gets his pawn forward, opens up the dark square diagonal, it's a game over. That's a deadly check, deadly skewer. Black is going to collapse.
It's pressure on Magnus, hitting the 3-minute mark. His king on d6, the most active piece currently on the board for Magnus Carlsen, is the one that's going to go down.
If you could pick up that king now, put it on g8, game on. But unfortunately, chess doesn't work like that.
What was bishop takes knight by him? Just an unbelievable moment.
And we'll be asking that question till the cows come home.
Madness for Magnus. Can Fabiano punish? There's another threat of just trading off the rooks and bringing the other white rook into the game, hitting the black queen. And actually, I think there's checkmating ideas on the board. Tanya, your move, and boom, f5.
Straight away.
Joins the party.
Fabi was ready with his response, and that shows the confidence that he has in converting this one. Magnus begging for the queen trade. I think you keep the queens on the board. With that king, the way it's placed, you don't go into an endgame.
There we go.
We'll do just that. Queen slides back. Still has an angle to check.
That is a checkmate in 2 threat. A check, the black king goes back, and the white queen lands on a square where it connects with its bishop.
Oh, the stress on the face of Magnus Carlsen, searching for answers.
The thing is, Magnus often searches for miracles and finds them. And
Or creates them.
Yeah, it's not over till the last move is played against the world #1.
I mean, here he needs to play b5 or something along those lines to block the diagonal, but that just loses a clear tempo. White's going to open up the position even more, maybe with some checks first. There's going to be sacrifices. Oh, no chance, surely, to survive this. Magnus is desperately trying to find alternatives. Maybe the rook can come in just to block again, but superficial. Hand on hips, he knows.
Yeah, pawn takes pawn is coming in, the rook is opening up. The check that you pointed out, black's queen tied down to defend the b7 pawn. Magnus, where's he going to find it?
There's no time either. It's so much quicker and easier to see attacking moves than defensive moves.
And what a moment in the match this will be to take the lead with just 1 game remaining, 1 game away from a world championship title.
David said it. Best position Fabiano's probably ever been in to take home a world title. And it's against Magnus Carlsen. No one you'd rather do it against.
He played great in 2018 against Magnus in their world championship match, but never had a winning position like this. Never anything close to converting like this. This is what we say about Magnus. His one Achilles heel is he sometimes takes too much risk with his king. He sometimes delays castling so long, especially in Fischer random freestyle chess. But here we go, rook c4. He's going to try and block the check.
Best of a bad set of moves available to him.
He could even take this rook off, and the black queen cannot really take, since a pawn would be hanging. And there would be checks.
Is that Magnus's dream, that if you just take the rook, black takes back with the queen, you take the pawn, and then there's a forcing queen trade in the position. And Magnus plays down a pawn, but just hopes that somehow the Magnus touch in the endgame shines.
That's right, after rook takes rook, there would be a queen trade, potentially. I'll just show this on the board very quickly. This is how Magnus would survive to fight another day, even if he still is clearly worse in an endgame. That will not happen. Fabiano will not give him that opportunity. Very important detail there, Tanya. Rook takes rook, maybe not the best practical move.
It's actually a very nice move by Magnus. And Fabi goes the other side. He's opened up the f1 rook. You've got to take that pawn back, Magnus.
King takes pawn, surely. At least he hides on a light square. Problem is the white queen is coming. The white queen has got other avenues in.
Yeah, that's a really nice path in.
That's how to do it. Queen on light squares, bishop on dark squares. No hiding place for the king.
But then that might mean that Magnus wants to keep that pawn on as an umbrella for his king. But how can you let that survive? It's coming in with e7 if the knight moves away.
30 seconds.
Ooh, no time on the clock either.
Fabiano looks so calm. He knows. He knows now.
Calm on the surface, but probably bubbling underneath right now on the precipice of taking a full point advantage over Magnus Carlsen going into a final game. Heart rate to match as well, 139.
But 15 seconds, Fabi. For Magnus even. He takes the rook.
Ooh, now is a good moment. Queen takes is no longer so good. Queen takes, there will be a simple queen trade, and after pawn to d5 check, the black king will be driven away from its knight. Fabiano will have an endgame, up a bishop. The queen goes back though. Oh, a new angle, beautiful move from Fabiano. Game over. Look at the black queen.
Yep, classy touch by Fabiano here.
He's fighting, he gives a check, trying to create some chaos. He just captures back, calm and cool, and now the queen's about to step up.
She can choose where she steps. This check looks most natural.
But the knight's coming, David. If there's no check, check, checkmate, black's got some counterplay chances on the light squares.
Maybe the king's going to hide literally in the center of the board in front of all of its army on the light squares, protected by a lone bodyguard, the knight.
What a position that would be.
Knight is a king's best friend, and this would be the best time to show that.
Exactly. Still praying for a miracle, but Magnus, that's a really instructive last pawn sacrifice from him. Two genius players against each other. He does have checks now, and he does have to keep an eye on this rook, Fabiano. He doesn't have two moves here in a row. He needs to coordinate perfectly.
And I think that's exactly what he's calculating. The queen comes in, the most attractive move, give a check. What happens if Magnus steps up in the center? And Fabi, it's not clear if he's finding a way forward there. Game's not over till it's not checkmate, you know? Especially when the knight and the queen are lining up.
Ooh, even Magnus looked like he was shaking a bit there.
Oh, yeah.
The nerves jangling.
Ooh, there it is.
Yep.
What a position.
D4 check. King jumps forward.
Okay, what a position. King on d5. The sole piece at the center of the board. Fighting against the majors.
Rook getting a little bit more involved now.
Big threat, pawn moving forward.
Very calm move, very strong move from Fabiano there, just joining his rook with the other attackers, and the black queen comes in.
David, if Magnus saves this one.
How did he survive this long? Fabiano must be getting frustrated.
I would
the
have
clock.
seen everything.
He can still force a draw, but he wants more than that, of course. A check would drive the black king back, and they could repeat.
Yeah, 3 options for checks, right? I could check with my pawn and my queen in 2 different ways.
Oh my god, but now Fabi's got 20 seconds as well.
The black king is hiding. The black king just needs 1 or 2 more moves, and it's going to slink away over into the corner. He does give a check.
And it's the white king that's feeling a bit bare suddenly, with a2 hanging.
Yeah, but he forces the king back out into the more precarious side of the board.
All right, do not repeat. Do not repeat.
Well, maybe repeat once for time.
Okay, just once.
How has he survived this long, Magnus? He's got his first threat of the whole game. Queen takes pawn. Fabi's running out of ideas, though.
I have a bad feeling for Fabi here right now. He's not finding his way forward. What is the way forward?
The only winning move is to go back and repeat the position and then find something new on the next move.
My goodness!
Advantage is somewhat gone, still looking good. He does defend this pawn, but now there's no threats.
He's back. Fabi's queen is on the defense right now. This gives Magnus one move to launch an offense.
He'll want to move his rook somewhere, anywhere. Just for the first time in this game, he's going back with his king. He's hiding.
It's the clocks. He's playing against Fabi's time as well. Gets across, but ignore that. The next move, rook's coming in. Rook e8.
This could turn. Like, if there's no knockout, if the black rook comes in and black keeps the grip on the light squares, it could easily turn. The pawn steps forwards, e4, advantage gone.
I cannot watch this. This is unbelievable. How has Magnus survived this and turned it around?
He gets his rook into the game. Finally, the dead rook for so long is involved.
He finds the trick. Fabiano thought he could continue advancing. E5 would be an almost winning move if it weren't for black just taking that pawn off the board, and the white rook would have been undefended on the 4th rank. This is such a double-edged position now. Fabiano looks so frustrated. Magnus can start hitting the white rook.
And the point is that there are no more repetitions available for Fabiano either. Even if the bar says it's level, a draw is far way off. This is some sort of a dynamic, balanced position. Very difficult to play. I think give up the bishop for the knight if you get the opportunity.
Yeah, that knight is just too strong as a defender. He needs to get it off the board. But Magnus has one move. Does he save the knight? Can he move it? Or does he have something better?
How do you move it? The b7 pawn's so tender as well.
The only square would be this one, but looks clumsy.
Only two options that hold the bar at level here for Magnus Carlsen. Rook to f8, queen to e6. He finds rook to f8.
Keeps the bishop honest. The bishop taking the knight now would land a devastating check for Magnus.
And not just that, he's threatening the rook coming onto the 3rd rank, hitting the c3 pawn as well.
Oh, and
Oh my
Fabiano's blundered. Magnus has got to keep the queens on. And there
Queen
we go.
f1. It's instant. It's an instant find for Magnus Carlsen.
Wow, Fabiano, suddenly there's a nasty knight check in the air. He can't stop it. His rook is suddenly offside and loose, undefended. Magnus knows he's turned this around.
Fabiano Caruana is about to get checkmated.
I don't know how many times we've said it. Magnus Carlsen will rarely ever give you a second chance. And if you don't close the door on him in that moment, you only need to give him one chance for him to take it across the line. Mate and 7 on the board. And Fabiano knows it. He gives up in the final moments. Magnus Carlsen from a dead position to winning in round number 3. Look at the face. He can barely believe it himself.
What did we just witness? That was crazy. Fabiano, I think we all were rooting for him there to deliver the final blow. He played a perfect game, just couldn't find the finishing touch. And Magnus, how often does he do this? The best defender in the world survives an almost hopeless position.